Rumors spreading round United Texas town.
Welcome back to Certified Beef. Me and Brandon are back once again. Just us this week. We don't really have anything like set in stone this week. It's just gonna be more just look at what's going on and all around in the sports world right now. Talk some football, a little football, not much because there's not much going on. Some basketball, there's a lot of shit going on there. And then obviously hockey just finished up, but we won't touch on baseball because there's really nothing going on right now.
Regular season
just regular season shit, and they haven't got to the trade deadline yet. So
they get all-star stuff up next week, though. I think that
really isn't much. But yeah, no, we're gonna probably start with football just because get it over with. Not much to say, but Baker Mayfield just today, while we were recording, got traded to the Panthers for a conditional 5th-round pick.
That's too low.
Dude, I remember when they were talking about trying to get a 1st-round pick for him, and they got a conditional 5th for him.
Does that mean that they might not get it, right? Or what does that mean?
No, it means it's a guaranteed 5th-round pick, but it can be higher based off his performance.
Huh.
So it probably is like a conditional up to like a 4th or a 3rd.
I think the Browns probably could got a second or 3rd.
No chance.
I think they could got a 3rd. They are very
but
desperate.
There's no way they're
getting
getting a second. The Panthers are not that desperate.
They got Sam Darnold, who sucks. Nobody likes him.
Yeah, but they're
Carolina.
not in a position to win, so I don't really understand.
I feel like they are though. Well, no, let me rephrase that. They're not in a position to win, but I think the Panthers management and Matt Rule think they are. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from.
I think they didn't know where they stand, and
Exactly.
they should know. The reason why they bring in a guy like Baker Mayfield is because they already have Sam Darnold, who's on a expiring contract, and you have Baker Mayfield, who's on an expiring contract. So you give them a year for those two to fight it out for the job, and you have a competition to see if they're even worth re-signing.
And Baker's can win.
Baker Mayfield, I think, has gotten the short end of the stick this whole time. Like he has been put in a bad position. The fact that he was playing last year hurt is not his fault at all. They told him that he was good to play, which he wasn't by far at all, and he was just getting thrown in there. Like he was hurt after week 1. Like he was not good after week 1. Like he was hurt, and they just kept throwing him out there saying, "Oh, you're good to play." Like he's a competitor. He wants to play, but you can't tell me that he was playing his best football last year. That was the best of Baker Mayfield we see because of how bad he played. No, that's just not how
that's Baker Mayfield was those first 3 magical weeks when he came in his rookie season.
I don't think he's even been bad though. Like last year he wasn't great, but I don't think the other years he's been bad. Like I think he's still
been above average though. And for a number 1 overall pick, that's what you want.
I think he's been above average.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think he's been that bad. I think he literally is just he has way too much expectations on it. The thing is that what I think is stupid is when he went 1st overall, that draft class was not very good. Like it wasn't great. That was the year that I think Josh Rosen was drafted and Sam Darnold. I think Josh Allen went in that draft.
Yeah, he went.
Yeah,
3rd, or 5th, 7th.
Yeah, so you're telling me that's a good draft class for quarterbacks? I don't think so.
It looked good coming out of college, but nobody's panned out besides Josh Allen.
But it wasn't. No one thought it was going to be amazing, though.
No,
this is no. Like obviously, like some draft class, like this one that just happened was really good draft class, but that was just not a good draft class. So I think that he has had way too much high expectations on him. But I mean, what do you expect?
I think it also help. Like I like the swagger he plays with, but I think it also help if he did a little less talking on the sidelines, do less progressive commercials. Nobody wants to see at home with Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry.
I like those commercials.
They just get old during football season. They're not awful, but they just get old. Just like the Matthew Stafford AT&T commercial. Get that out of here. But yeah, I agree that he's probably had the expectations over his head, and he got out to a good start, like I said, with those taking the Browns to their first win in like a year and a half against like the Raiders, I think it was. or maybe the Jets,
Yeah.
giving the fans free beer in Cleveland, because I remember Miller Lite, I believe it was, or Bud Light ran that promotion that once they got a win, they would unlock all the beer cases and give away free beer.
Yep.
So he provided through the fans with that. But yeah, he's probably got on the short end of the stick, playing injured. His offensive line has always been pretty good for most of the time. I'm pretty sure he's had weapons around him, but I think it's also just the curse of Cleveland. Playing there is never good. So I think that how much stake you want to put in that, I don't know, but it could be there.
I don't know if you should put much, but I still think that he wasn't in the greatest position to start. And like the thing is that he didn't even start at the beginning of the year. He was a first overall pick and they sat him for half the year.
Right.
Which is ridiculous in my opinion. If you get picked first overall, you shouldn't sit.
Has he ever had any QB competition though either?
No.
Right. Because when he got in there, it was Deshaun Kaiser, wasn't it? He was the quarterback.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like
he was Tyrod Taylor.
I think you're right, yeah. But there was he's never had competition throughout his career. I think this move might benefit him in the long run. Like obviously that situation in Cleveland was not working out. I think he's happy to get out of there, obviously. Yeah, I think he will win the starting job over Sam Darnold. I think that's pretty much a given, unless he gets hurt or he's just abysmal. Those are the only two possibilities. Because even if Sam Darnold plays extraordinarily good, he's still probably a below average quarterback. Like we saw the flashes in the first 3 games last year, and then it fizzled out just like that. And they had the 4th overall pick for a team that started 3-0, which is kind of embarrassing. So I don't think Sam Darnold's a leader. I think he'll probably get signed to be a career backup from this point on. But hey, power to him, because Chase Daniels, he gets that bag to be that career backup. So Sam Darnold good too.
See, the thing is with Sam Darnold is like you could be like, oh, second chance, but he already got it. It was last year. Last year He was his second chance. Baker Mayfield hasn't got that opportunity. That's why I think this is worth it for him, and he should be in this opportunity. I don't know if this is the best opportunity for him. I think Seattle would have been better for him, but just because of the talent around him. But I mean, the thing is you have a decent amount of talent with
Robbie Anderson.
I mean DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. I mean, it's a solid wide receiver core. It's not horrible. Awful.
I think what could help him is the fact of if Christian McCaffrey is a safety blanket for the whole year, it would be a very good thing for him.
If he plays and doesn't get traded.
Well, I don't think he's going to get traded. He would have been traded already.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. I think they could still be working out the details.
I think he would have been traded a while ago if he would have been traded.
So do you think, I know you're high on him right now. Do you think he could be in the top 5, maybe top 7 for MVP conversation?
High on who?
Baker.
I'm not high on him.
It sounds like you are.
I'm definitely not. I'm basically saying that he has got the short end of the stick and he deserves a second chance. I never said that he is.
You disagreed when I said he was average. You said, oh, he's above average.
I think he's an above average quarterback because I think he's got.
You're higher on him than most people are.
That's because I honestly, people who actually put much stock into last year are fucking stupid, because that was ridiculous. How the fact that he even was playing last year. No one should play where he was health wise last year. So that year you throw that out of the water, even though people won't, because they're naive as fuck and won't do that. But I think you almost have to throw that out of the water. That's just a horrible season, and it's uncharacteristic for a guy that actually wasn't even horrible the past couple of years. I'm not high on him. I still think he's above average, meaning average I would say is probably top 20. He's probably 18.
So
he's not a top half of the league at all.
Not yet.
So, no, he never. I don't think he ever has been.
Well, do you think he'll get to that point though, where he's top 15?
No, because I don't think
10?
Matt Rule will give him the opportunity to do that.
Okay. Fair enough. I see your point. What are we going to next? What do you want to?
I don't really care.
NHL or NBA?
Let's just do NHL since the
All right.
NBA stuff is more.
It's fresh.
It's fresh, yeah.
All right. So we got the Stanley Cup playoff bracket pulled up. I do. We're only going to go through the finals and the Wild Blues series because that's the only ones we really care about. Shout out to Andrew's Hurricanes. Can't make it past the second round. Doesn't seem like. Also, the Rangers were very surprising. Just want to touch on that real quick. Igor kind of carried that team on his back.
I don't know if I'd go that far. He played good, but he didn't carry them.
Okay, yeah, but he was a very substantial part of that.
Well, of course, you need a good goaltender and everything, but they can't carry you because if you think a team can get carried, the Lightning could have won the Stanley Cup Final if Andrei Vasilevsky would have carried them all the way.
That's true.
He could have. He's that good where he could have carried them. He just wasn't playing good.
I didn't know who this man was until like 2 years ago, and I did not realize that he is possibly one of the best goaltenders of all time.
Yeah, I don't know if I go that far, but he's very good.
Wasn't he on the Islanders before, or was he on the Panthers?
I have no idea.
I don't remember where he's been, but I think he's been around the league a little bit. All right, but we'll start with the Blues Wild because that's older. Blues win the series in 6. You want to go first?
I think what happened in this series is
Go. All right.
It's just going to be. It really came down to experience. The Wild had no experience with this team at all. This is a very new team, a very new looking team compared to the last team that went to the playoffs. So they really didn't have that experience as a group that other teams they've had that have like maybe made it out of the first round. But I don't know. You could tell they were nervous in like the first couple games, but they managed to find a way to win a couple in the first 2-3 games. But the Blues, they made changes, and the Wild weren't able to adapt with under the pressure of the playoffs. And it showed in the last 3 games when they just got absolutely blown out of the water and they didn't even show up. So yeah, I don't really have like much to say because that's really like how I feel. Like I give the Blues credit and I give the Wild credit. They was a good series, but it literally just was like a tale of the Blues had the experience, and that's kind of what helped them win the series.
Yep, just another disappointing end to Minnesota sports season. This was one of the years I feel like we could have been like, oh yeah, we're making it to the next round at least, if not to the conference finals. And that obviously did not happen.
Okay, but let's be honest. The freaking draw that we got is kind of fucking bullshit.
Playing the Blues?
Dude, yeah, we played a top 7 team in the league and we finished top 5 in points. We were 5th in points this year.
Western Conference was just that good, man. I mean,
that's still
you can't do
unlucky.
anything when Colorado locks down the division with 100+ points. Like they had like 107, right?
Yeah, but that's still like unlucky that they're like the thing is that most time the 2 and 3 seed there's like at least a little disparity. Like you can tell which team is better than the other, but like with the Wild and the Blues, it's like those two are literally competing for the 2 and 3 spot for like the whole entire like second half of the season. It was just a race between those two. And yeah, they get a second. That's like one thing I've always had a problem with the playoffs is that you could have 2 really good teams in the 2 and 3 seed in each division play each other, and they shouldn't. Like it should be the top 8 teams in each. It should be the top team from each division, and then it should be the top 6 teams left. They really should just change the playoffs. The way they have it set up is just not. I'm not a fan of it. There needs to be a change. Like, obviously you have the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, but
it should
you
be
need to find a.
I mean, it's not like where I don't like that's in the divisions either, because isn't it where the top seed in your division plays the lowest seed that made it? No?
There's wild cards.
Right.
But they're bracketed off based off divisions, but the wild cards aren't guaranteed to be in your division.
Yeah. It worked out this year, though. I'm pretty sure that it was by division.
Yeah, some of them were. Yeah, some of them weren't.
At least it looked like the Western Conference was.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, it wasn't. Not the Avalanche or the Flames played the Stars.
Oh, okay.
So it was only one. I'm pretty sure it was only one matchup in the entire playoffs that was like that.
Okay, continue.
I mean, I really didn't have much. I just was like, I just think the playoffs are set up because, like, I understand like you want to have those rivalries in like the playoffs, but why would you not want to have those farther down the line in the playoffs instead of in the first round? Like, I would much rather watch that in a second round or a conference finals series than in the first round. Like, if imagine watching like a series like the Blues and the Wild, or like the Wild and the Avs in the Western Conference Final. That sounds way better than any like what happened. Because the thing is, I mean, I understand you want to represent each like conference, like each division a little bit, but there's no ties between Edmonton and the Avalanche. There's no ties between the Rangers and the Lightning. There's no like blood, like bad blood between. Yeah, there's nothing there. There's no rivalry between the teams really. So there's really nothing to the series. It's hard to like get behind. Like, obviously it's good hockey, but you get behind because like you think about it, you got series like the Rangers and the Penguins. They're both in the same division. That was a good series. You had the Panthers and the Lightning in the first round. The second round, that was a good series. Wild Blues first round, that was a good series. Even the Avalanche and the Predators, like it obviously was a sweep, but it's still that rivalry, the West, that division rivalry. It would be nice to see that happen more often in the later parts of the playoffs instead of right away.
Yeah. Getting back to the Wild, I think I agree with you that the inexperience showed, because those past playoff teams where they would consistently make the playoffs were anchored by those like veterans, mostly like Mikko Koivu, who has been there, done that type of thing. Even though he's never won the cup, like he's made the playoffs multiple times in a row, whatnot. He's seen it. I like that we brought in Fleury. We definitely had a top three goalie tandem going into the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think you got to start Talbot sooner. I don't like that we started him. Because we started him in game 5 or game 6?
Game 6.
Game 6. Like, that first game just was super rough. Then we came back and won the next 2. Then we didn't win a game after that. Like,
see, the thing is that if Fleury didn't lose them that series.
No.
So then he should still start.
He let in a couple softies, though.
He let in like 2 over the whole series. That's going to happen. You can't bench a guy over a softie.
No, you can't. But it just...
The thing is that you have a 3-time cup winner, a top 5 goalie of all time, and then you got Cam Talbot on the bench. You start the guy, and the only reason why the Wild started Cam Talbot is because they lost 2 games in a row and they needed something different. It wasn't because Fleury. If they would have gone into game 6 up 3-2, Fleury starting that game. 100%. Like, probably. Even if they lost 2 in a row, if they were up like 3-0 or something like that, and they lost 2 in a row, Fleury's starting. It's literally just because there was like, we had no momentum on our side and we needed something to change. Only reason why. They literally were talking about that on the broadcast. I remember they're like, yeah, Wild, they need a change, they need a spark, and that's what you do. That's like one thing that I've heard in the NHL is what they do a lot of times is if you have confidence in your backup goalie, you bring them in to bring that spark. But yeah, no,
that's what the Blues did. Brought in Binnington.
Yeah, because
kind of flipped the series.
Husso was horrible.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, and Fleury was not bad. Most of the
bad,
goals,
but
most of the goals were literally wide open nets. That's not his fault.
right. It's
Because
play
it's
style.
literally he has he had no chance of saving like the first 2 games. I'm pretty sure he had a chance of saving like 2 of them, 2 of the goals that were scored.
Right. I feel like Fleury's play style. I like being aggressive, but sometimes it seemed like he was just a little too aggressive. Because it seemed like on those ones where it'd be like an easy goal, it seems like he could have sat a little bit farther back in the crease, like not gone so far towards the shooter. Like I know you're supposed to do that and everything like that, but I feel like you gotta play a little bit conservative. Try and get to the back door as fast as you can. Like I know he did that, but
See, the only thing is that he's gotta play his style that he knows and the styles that he's played with to win cups. And that's why he was brought on, is because of his style and his play as goalie. Cam Talbot is a very conservative goalie. Very conservative. He is not aggressive at all. No. And that's why they brought in Fleury, because they wanted to have that aggressive goalie that is trying to make those saves that Talbot isn't, or like isn't going as aggressive for.
Yeah,
Talbot is not going to he's not going to blow you away with his game. Fleury will, but Talbot won't.
Right. I don't know. It just seemed that at some points of the series you wanted it to be more safe, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that you want it. Fleury played so many pucks and stuff like that. There was a couple of bad bounces in there, yeah. But I feel like at some point you want to go to that safety guy where he's going to be pretty reliable most of the time. Like I know Fleury is, but it just seemed like the Blues kind of figured him out a little bit. I don't know what else much to say. Just disappointing. Hoping. Oh, I guess we should touch on Kevin Fiala real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Wild are now in the point where this was a year where they needed to see how far they could go, and they didn't make it far, so they didn't even think about keeping Fiala because
but there was no way around the salary cap hell.
Well, this all goes back to David Fletcher and Paul Fenton, the shit that they did back when they signed Suter and Parisi to contracts that literally are killing us for the next 3 years now.
It was good at the time, not good anymore.
No, it's not. Do you really think that a guy should ever get paid $7 million once they're 39 years old, 40 years old in hockey at all?
I mean, hockey's different than quite a bit of sports, though, because you can play when you're older.
Yeah, but seriously, think about if you can.
Were they 39 and 40 when they got signed?
No, they were 27. But
right,
they were
exactly.
signed for but they were signed for $13 million deals. Do you really think they're going to have 13 years, 98 million? It's about $7 million a year. Do you really think they're going to have the production that they have when they're 29, when they're 39?
When they were at their peak, it was a good deal, but now it's not.
It was never a good deal. It was never a good deal.
They could have got it for cheaper, honestly.
No, they could have got it for less time. You should never sign guys for 13 years in their prime. That makes zero sense.
Yeah, that's beginning of the career type
It was
deal.
It was literally like trying to splash, and like you think about it.
It worked.
If their contracts, what?
It made a big splash.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything. We didn't have any playoff success with them. Suter sucks.
I think we won 1 or 2 playoff series. That was it.
That's bad to bring in 2 guys that you think are going to be.
We haven't done much better recently, so it doesn't even matter.
It's still that's because they're literally screwing us over by their cap hell. But what I'm saying is that if they were contracts would have ended when Parisi started to stop playing, which was last year before he got cut, he literally was healthy scratch like every other night. If their contracts would have ended then, at that time been way different. But now we're dealing with paying them $7 million a year for the next 3 years. That's $14 million that we're just tying up to cap space, dead cap.
Yeah.
So you have to sign a guy like Kaprizov, huge money. You got to sign him. I think we got him for cheap too, in my opinion. But you got to sign him. You have no choice. So you have to sign him. But then you have to sign all these little deals because you have to fill the roster. So then you try to keep them. You do whatever you can. But now you have to trade them. I mean, in the end, You think about it, you're
Doesn't
like,
even
oh,
matter.
Fiala. No, it does. It still really does.
Oh, you did get
actually.
my reference?
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
That's not what I'm saying, but all right.
I don't really care.
I know.
But what I'm saying is that you see what happened this year. Yes, Fiala did not show up in the playoffs. He's a little inconsistent, but he still scored the second most points in the franchise history behind Kaprizov, who also broke the record this year. So he was your second best player in franchise history in a season, and you only had 1 year of that, and you knew this going in, and you couldn't do anything about it. So then there was no way he was gonna sign for 1 year cheap deal. So then you ship him off for a first round pick and Brock Faber, who is a good up and coming defenseman, which is actually what we need, but you also still need to fill that. So I don't know. The Wild, I don't see them return. I don't even see them being as good as they were last year. Like, I know people are saying they can be just as good, which, yeah, it's possible. But when you lose a guy that scores 85 points in a season, that's hard to replace when you have no cap space.
Do you think he'll do as good in LA? Because I was hearing that it was a lot of his line mates are credit to his success because he figured out this year that he didn't have to handle the puck the whole time and stuff like that. Didn't need to make the perfect play. He could rely on others.
That's literally anyone though. Like, you have to rely on your line mates. You can't, like, the only person that I can think, the only two people that I can think of that you just can't, that don't have to rely on their line mates is like Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid. Those are two guys that I can think of that you don't have to rely on. Everyone else has to rely.
Prime Patty Kane. I'd put him up there too.
I still think he has to rely on his line
Prime
mates.
Patty Kane.
He's not that good. Patty Kane is nowhere close to prime Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid.
Oh no, Connor McDavid will probably go down as the second greatest hockey player of all time. He's good.
But I'm saying Patty Kane's not even really that close to Austin Matthews. He's good, but he's not Austin Matthews good.
Really? Huh.
No chance. He's not even close to the goal scorer that Austin Matthews is. No, he's not. Austin Matthews is literally a stud. Absolute. Yeah. He is.
I didn't think he was going to win the Hart this year, though.
Oh, I saw it. I mean,
I didn't pay too much attention to it, but I didn't think he was going to.
Like, McDavid had the most points, but you can only give it to a guy so much, and like Matthews kind of like carried the Maple Leafs this whole way because Marner was horrible this year. But going back to what I was saying, you never see guys play good in their 40s. Can you even name someone that has had a good season when they turn 40?
Is no Ovechkin 40?
No, he's not. He's like 36.
He seems like he's 40. He looks like he's 40.
Yeah. Is there anyone you can even think of?
There's probably a goaltender up there. I don't know how late Patrick Waugh played.
No.
Let's see. Jerome McGinley.
No.
Did he play till he's 40?
Maybe, but he wasn't good.
I just know he was more of a dirty player.
There's only like two people that ever played good, and it was Wayne Gretzky. He still played pretty solid when he turned 40, and Gordie Howe. But the only people, and then you got some other guys who put up like 50 points, but if you're paying a guy $7 million a year, you expect them to score 75, if not more, in a season. I guess it's defenseman is a dude. 75 points.
Okay.
Obviously not goals. No one scores 75 points in the NHL now. But so that's what I'm saying. The contracts just absolutely made no sense. And obviously, if I was a player, I would love to get paid $7 million when I'm 40 years old.
Oh, yeah.
You know you're not going to be at your peak performance and you're going to get paid that much. So it's just, it sucks because at that time you're like, oh great, we get great players, but I saw this happen. Literally, like me and my dad especially, we've seen this, we saw this coming like 2 years, but even before they cut Parise and Suter. We saw this happening. We saw the decline of their play, and we saw how this was going to come out. Obviously, we didn't know who Kaprizov was, so that's different. But we saw how this team was going to happen and what was going to happen. We're going to get screwed over at one point. And this is a prime example when we lose our second best player on the team, Kevin Fiala.
It sucks that no one wants Matt Dumba either. Like, I like Matt Dumba, but nobody wants him in the league. Well,
he sucks.
I mean, even when he was in when when he was doing great, nobody wanted him for I don't know why, but
because his defense was horrible at that time.
He's definitely an offensive defenseman. There's no doubt about that.
I think if he can somehow, I think the thing is he's refined his defense a lot more since he hasn't been able to play as much offense because he got hurt. But if he can get back to his form a little bit, it'll be totally different. But yeah, no, he's getting paid a lot of money too to suck too. I don't know. We got a couple contracts that are just like iffy, and it's like scary because we might get screwed in the end. I don't think Dumbo's on contract that much longer, but
no, I don't think so either.
We don't have too many big deals. Matt Zuccarello is probably getting paid too much. I know he's getting paid a little bit too much than he should be, but whoa, I can't hear you.
Team though,
huh?
Matt's. I like him. He's a good fit.
Well, yeah, he's good. I'm just saying he's probably getting paid too much. I'm pretty sure he's getting paid like $6 a year, and he probably shouldn't get paid that much.
I think so. I also think I have trust in Bill Guerin.
Well, no, I do too. And he definitely tried to weigh his options to keep Fiala.
Yeah,
guarantee it. He would not just give up a player like that. But there was he had no option. I guarantee he was shipping other people on our team to try to free up money. Dumbo especially. I wouldn't doubt if Dumbo was getting his name was getting shipped around.
I bet everybody besides Kaprizov and maybe Boldy were probably on the trade block.
No, I don't think so. I think Spurgeon was safe. Brodeen wasn't going to get traded.
Yeah,
the guys that are making $1 million a year aren't going to get traded either. So your big guys like them, Brodeen. I don't even think Matt Zuccarello would get traded because he's 30. He's getting almost 35. So he ain't going to get traded. He's not going to get traded because I don't think people are going to really trade that
they won't trade much for him, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. And we wouldn't trade for that little for him. See, in his contract, I'm pretty sure ends in 2 years, and he's 34.
I'm pretty sure it does. I think it ends when he's 36 because I looked that up because I kind of wanted to get Matt's jersey, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, so that's a contract I like because when they start getting around that 36, they lose a lot of steam in those legs. And they are not as good. Obviously, he is a great passer, so that's what helps him a lot. And that long stick, but that's a good contract. You got a guy, if you sign him for $2 million a year after that, that's fine by me, but don't be paying him $6 million like he is now. But I don't think Bill Guerin will, because Bill Guerin will see. The thing
he's going to be so aggressive. I think every trade deadline.
See, the thing is that right now I'm thinking we're in a bad position right now. I'm scared for what's going on, but I feel like Bill Guerin will figure it out. Hopefully. And hopefully this shit with Kaprizov in Russia that just came out today.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to ask you
down.
about that.
I hope that. Well, did you see that he went back to the U.S. immediately?
Yeah. So I think he should be safe because I think unless they do, that would be awful. But unless they do a hostage swap with him and Brittany Griner.
No, they would not do that.
No, they won't.
I would. I'm just worried that what's going to happen is he's going to get. Hopefully, he only gets fined or something, maybe at the max. But hopefully, he doesn't have to serve jail time because then he's never going to be able to go to Russia again
or get whacked. That'd be awful.
Are you saying get killed?
Yeah, that's what get whacked.
I mean, it is Russia.
But I mean, also you had the stuff with Panarin last year, 2 years ago, where he pissed off Putin. And he's doing fine right now.
That's true.
So I think as long as Kaprizov lays low, and even if he has to miss 15, 20 games, I'd rather.
I don't think he's going to miss a game.
I don't think so either. But if
because the thing is, Panarin did it. He did it for personal reasons. He left for personal reasons. I don't think Kaprizov's going to leave for personal reasons.
I think he left for personal reasons to stay alive.
Well, I don't think he's at risk of death.
Well, he said that, the report is that he bought a fake military ID or something like that.
Yeah, it's just the report. That doesn't mean it's true.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I didn't
believe everything on the internet, Brandon.
I didn't read who it was by. It was by TMZ.
It was a random Twitter account. It was a random Twitter account. It did not.
That's also true.
It did not look like a very reliable source.
I still don't. I don't know. It's just a sketchy situation everywhere. Can't trust nobody. But yeah. moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Lightning returning for the third straight year. Avalanche returning for the third time in franchise history. Lightning obviously going for the three-peat. And then each time the Avalanche have been to the Stanley Cup, they have won it. The latter is what happened. The Avalanche won in 6 over the Lightning. Cale Makar is your Calder Cup winner.
Conn Smythe.
Conn Smythe. Calder. What's Calder? Oh, that's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. And then the Hart is the MVP. Oh, what's the defensive? Shoot, what's it called?
Got it.
What's it called?
The Norris.
The Norris, and then the Vezina is for goaltenders. I know my stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't say it was a horrible series. I really thought this was gonna be a sweep almost. I thought it wasn't gonna be close. You were hoping for it?
No, I was hoping for it to end in 5.
Oh, I was too. I was hoping that they would have won it in front of their home fans, but it just seems like in the NHL that recently that teams just don't win in front of their home fans. It's weird. But better team won. Like I've said, the Avalanche are an absolute wagon. They are just unstoppable. They fly around the ice. They didn't even look like they were tired the whole time. And like I was saying before, I was like, it might be a little risky with Darcy Kemper. They rolled the dice going with Darcy Kemper as their goalie, and he played good enough to win. And that's literally all they needed. He needed to play good enough. And he actually played good. I wouldn't even say he played good enough. He played actually pretty good in the playoffs.
There was some vintage Darcy Kemper in there. Obviously, it's going to happen. But yeah, he played better than people expected for sure.
I definitely think that there's a chance that they make him like their goaltender for years to come.
I like Darcy, but I hope not. Like the Avalanche, I know.
Fuck that. I want them to suck. I hope they sign him so he goes back to form and they start sucking again.
Maybe Darcy's turned the page. Like I know he didn't have that great of a year this year. It was average, but he had a good year with the Coyotes last year. So maybe Darcy's coming to form.
Yeah, but hopefully maybe they re-sign him and they open the window for the Wild to win the division. I don't know.
That's not gonna happen.
They
there and McKinnon and Landis.
Yeah, but if you have bad goaltending, that you will lose games.
That's true.
A lot. If Darcy sucks, they will lose a lot. But maybe they will pay a goalie this year. They didn't pay Philip Grubauer, which actually turned out to be a good thing. Oh, there's just in Minnesota Wild, Bill Guerin says Kirill Kaprizov is doing well, denies the report that the Star returned to the U.S.
So he's
all right.
Okay,
he's doing good. Huh?
He's fine. He's fine for now.
He's in Russia and he's doing good. So it was a false report that he returned to the U.S.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a false report that he pissed off.
I think it sounds like he's doing fine. But back to what I was saying, better team won. Glad to see the Lightning finally lose. I've said this before and I'll say it again. One of the most overrated Stanley Cup winning teams, back-to-back teams ever. They won the first one in the bubble. I don't think I'm sorry, but you can't put much stock into a bubble championship.
It's hard to pin down a bubble championship because
teams haven't played in so long.
Yeah, but also I don't know. It's just weird because you're in that confined environment. It's just totally different.
Yeah, it's hard, but also you have teams that come in that haven't played hockey in months, and that you just expect them to click. Like obviously that's impressive that they just clicked and were able to win, but they also had a freaking insane roster. So that helps too. That was their second year.
That was their first year.
No, that was the Stars the first year in the bubble.
Oh yeah, the Stars the first year.
And the Stars were they were a surprise cup team too. Yep. So it's not like they had tough matchups.
Because they knocked out the Avalanche in the finals, didn't they? The West Finals.
Stars, yeah. Yes, and then the Avs ended up short again last year. But yeah, And then they played literally one of the worst NHL like playoff team or Stanley Cup Final teams ever in the Montreal Canadiens, who were one of the bottom 5 teams in the league this year. So you have literally 2 not great Stanley Cup Final teams, and then they actually play a good team. And yeah, they won 2 games, but in those other games, they really didn't stand a chance. They looked horrible in those other games.
They were also pretty injured, weren't they?
No.
I think Hedman, are you talking about
Kucherov? Like when they came out and said that they were all injured or whatever? That was the most bullshit thing I've ever seen.
I think Kucherov was legit injured.
Well, yeah, a lot of them were. There's a ton of people that were injured. The whole shit about the Lightning, their injury list is like a freaking receipt. I was like, go look at the fucking abs too. They guarantee they have the same thing. Dude played on a broken foot.
Kadri with the broken hand.
Yeah, he came back like that. Like blaming the series on injuries is the most bullshit thing ever. If you're on the ice, you're on the ice. You're a hockey player. You're gonna
even
play
if you're the 6th man.
Yeah, if you're playing, if you're on the ice, you're fine. Shut the fuck up and play. Like that shit just pisses me off. Like in like any sport, like just if you're on the field, you're on the ice or anywhere you're playing, and even if you're hurt or injured. If you are willing to suit up, shut the fuck up and play. Like that's literally the stupidest thing ever. I hate that shit. But yeah, no, the Lightning are overrated as fuck. Overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're overrated. Like obviously, 2 championships is still impressive. Not a lot of people do that. But also, they got pretty easy cup opponents. The Panthers just cannot seem to figure out in the playoffs at all. And they should be yearly competition against the Lightning. I think they've got swept both years they played them.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing for a team of that caliber. They didn't have to face the Avalanche in the first 2 years. And yeah, when they did, the Avalanche were the best team all season. I don't think they were, except for the beginning. Besides the slow start, they were the best team all season. No doubt about that. Got so much firepower with Landeskog and McKinnon. Cale Makar is putting up insane numbers as a defenseman. And then you got those role players like Kadri. I know he's probably an elevated role player, but he's still a role player. He's not in that top 3. So everybody seemed to step up for the Avs. The goaltending was obviously, like you said, good enough. Francois was his name? Franco?
Pavel Francouz.
Yeah, Francouz. I mean, I think he went 1-1, 2-1 in his starts. I know he didn't start
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he won 7 games in the playoffs.
Kemper was out
or 6. I think it was like one of the first times in NHL history that 2 goalies have won like 6 games in the playoffs.
Wow. I mean, that just
because Kemper was out for a while. He got hit in the eye, so he was out for a little bit.
That just shows that the Avalanche can win with just about anybody as their goaltender.
Literally. If they would have stuck Francouz out there, I still think they would have won.
Oh, yeah. It might have gotten to 7, honestly, but I still think they take it down. When do you think the next Cale Makar is going to roll around, huh?
Never.
Never? You think he's 1-1?
I don't think there's anyone like him. I think he's the Connor McDavid of defenseman.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. He is so good. He's going to win like 7 Norris trophies.
He was a guy that I did not like at all like a couple of years ago, but now just like seeing him play, like this is probably the most I've ever watched playoff hockey. Like seeing him play is amazing.
He makes shit look easy.
He does.
His skating is just so easy. Like
he's so fast.
He gets out of the defensive zone so easy. Like he'll skate around dudes like it's nothing.
And he can handle the puck as a defenseman too. It's not like the standard defenseman where you get the puck in the defensive zone, you make that lead pass, and that's it. Like he's actually moving in and stuff.
Yeah, he actually has like a good shot and everything too.
Yep.
Like obviously I wouldn't say like you can't say he's like a mix of guys because he's obviously the best defenseman in the league, but his defense is even good. He's got like the shot of Brent Burns and like passing of like Adam Fox He's like a bunch of different guys built into one, and he's just like easily the best defenseman in hockey.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure people are saying at this point it's like him, Matthews, and McDavid. They're just like the top three, and like no one's touching them. Like people are saying Cale Makar is a top 3 player in the NHL already, which I honestly think it could be true.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
He's like, I would say he is pretty much almost guaranteed top 5.
I mean, yeah, at 23 already winning a Norris is unheard of.
He's only the 3rd player ever to win the Norris and the Conn Smythe in the same year.
Wow. And like he put up 28 points in the playoffs through 20 games.
20 in like, yeah.
That's
as a defenseman, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's very good. Because usually during the regular season, don't defensemen average like 50 points less?
Yeah, like the good ones, like the 60. I think Roman Josi had like 70 points this year, which was really good. Yeah. I honestly, like, I know this is crazy to say, but he could score probably 100 points in a season. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, that's insane for a, like, I guarantee I wouldn't be surprised if he scores 25 plus goals next year.
I could see it. I could, call me crazy, but I could see him kind of be like Deebo Samuel of hockey. I wouldn't be surprised if at one point during his career he suited up as a wing. I think
he definitely stays a defenseman the whole his entire career.
I think if it really got down to that point, I think they pull out something crazy and they're like, "You're our left wing for this game."
Yeah, but they have so much talent there, anyways. It wouldn't be needed. Okay, they're
going into salary cap hell here soon because I know they gotta try and re-sign Kadri, and they also got McKinnon and Landeskog coming up on deal. Or
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll figure it out.
It's gonna be interesting. I still
he
think they'll
scored
be
86
great,
points this year, so that's
how many?
86.
Wow,
and it's only his 3rd season. Okay, that's pretty. That's good.
Wasn't he the number 1 pick, right?
No, he's 4th pick in 2017.
Wow.
I mean, he didn't play like that much last year, but he jumped up from 50 point. You know, he went 50 his first year, 44 to 86 this year. He just like blew like the league out of the water.
Moral of the story of these playoffs is that you load up with enough firepower, you'll be just fine. Get yourself a Cale Makar, which is not going to happen, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if there was another guy like this, it would be totally different. But I don't think there's anyone like that's close.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Like, there's good defensemen, but he is just like above and beyond. It's ridiculous. I don't know. He's crazy.
Legit a good defenseman too. It's not like he's just an offensive defenseman. Like he's a two-way type of guy.
It's crazy, and he scored 86 points. That's like insane.
He'll probably get the biggest defenseman deal of all time. I don't doubt it.
I wasn't really surprised.
But yeah, moral. If the Avalanche had a goaltender like Vasilevsky, I'm not sure they lose a game in the playoffs, honestly. They lose maybe 2. If the Avalanche had a goalie like Vasilevsky, I don't think they lose more than 2 games.
Well, if they sweep the Predators and the Oilers, and then they lose 2 to the Blues, yeah, I would say they probably only lose 1 or 2.
Like, that would be the greatest run, probably the greatest team of all time, if you did that.
Yeah, I don't know if they would lose in the playoffs if they had a good goalie, if they had like a top 5 goalie.
Yeah, I don't know, but congrats to the Avalanche. Sorry to Jarrett. It's tough, I know. Come join me and Jack in the ranks of the first round exits. All right. NBA time?
Yeah.
All right. So there's been lots of notable trades in NBA free agency, right? Or is it just before free agency?
I mean, technically it's like
before.
just right on. No, it's yeah. I think you have to do it when it starts.
Okay.
Or they don't become official until then.
Right. Okay. There's been lots of noteworthy trades. One that I can think of off the top of my head that we're not going to go in depth on is Red Velvet Kevin Huerter getting traded to the Kings.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
He got traded for Justin Holiday, another dude in like a second round pick or something like that.
That's stupid. Why would they do that?
Who? Which one?
The Hawks.
I don't know. Well, because they're clearing room for this guy, DeJounte Murray. You like that transition?
So they didn't get paid that much though.
Yeah. But the first, or I guess we can also talk about regular free agents that signed. But first, we'll get to the trades. First big trade, Hawks Spurs. The Spurs are sent DeJounte Murray, very good point guard from last year, and Jock Landale, to the Hawks and they will receive, or did receive, Danilo Gallinari, who I think they've already waived or bought out. 2023 first round pick protected, 25 first round pick, 26 pick swap, and a 27 first round pick. How are you feeling about that haul for the Spurs?
That's like a steal
for
the Hawks. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave up Danilo Gallinari, who's a bench player for them, because all they had to do was match salaries.
Yep.
And there was a buzz that he was going to get traded for John Collins, and they were still able to keep him. That's a great trade. I mean, I'd do that trade too.
The thing that surprised me though was, like, I did not expect him to go to the Hawks.
Well, no, I knew he was going to the Hawks because that was one of the only teams that was pursuing him.
It was him or them, the Timberwolves, and like two other teams. I don't remember who.
Yeah, but it was the Hawks and the Timberwolves that had the most buzz.
Right.
I mean, what didn't make sense to me is that if the deal that they were talking about for DeJounte for us, what we were going to offer him is a much better package than
what they got.
What they got, because they were talking about sending like D'Lo and some bench guy. It was going to be D'Lo was going to be in the deal for DeJounte, and they took that, but maybe they didn't want D'Lo, which is fair because they probably want a new guy to play point guard instead of D'Lo.
Right. I think this is making Trae Young more of a shooting guard.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know if he's not going to just sit in the corner, but
but this is the first time I think in NBA history where 2 8 assists per game guys have been on the same team. Point guards.
That definitely out fair. Yeah. Well, the thing is what I think
it's like 25 points, 8 assists per game.
Yeah, it's not gonna. The thing is, it's not gonna put too much pressure on Trae Young to have the ball in his hands all the time, which I think you need. I think you need 2 ball dominant players on your team at all times. Like, you can't have only one guy that can only handle the ball. You need 2 guys that can handle the ball and are able to make passes. You have to, or like somewhat to an extent.
Yeah, I guess this will take a lot of pressure off with Trae Young because, like, there will be times where he'll be the ball dominant guy on the court. There'll be times where they're both on the court. I think DeJounte is going to give them very good, a different look at scoring because I'm pretty sure he's more of a slasher mid-range type of guy. And you got the floor extender named Trae Young. So I think it'll give Trae a lot of freedom to move around without the ball, try and come up with his own shots. Like, I know he already does that, but get it going in a different way, and then it'll open up the passing game for a lot of the other guys on the team. Like, I think we'll see probably even more lobs to John Collins or see him sit in the mid-range or something like that. I don't know. I think the Hawks got a good deal, especially now that the Spurs just, like, let Danilo walk. Basically, they bought him out. So I don't know what the protection is on the pick. It's from Charlotte via New York, or via Charlotte from New York. Then you got the unprotected stuff. It's sad to see that the Spurs are in rebuild mode, but I think hopefully they'll make it to the playoffs like another time or two to give Pop one last good run. But I don't.
Dude,
think
I
that's
don't
gonna
understand
happen.
why Pop's still there. Like, I can't believe he wants to coach rebuilds, a rebuilding team. Like, if I was him, I wouldn't want to do that. That sounds
retire?
awful. I would have retired a long time ago. I would have retired shortly after Tim Duncan retired.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't. The thing is that once Tim Duncan retired, you saw Kawhi leave, you knew that Spurs team, the Spurs were going to go downhill.
Yeah, DeMar can only do so much.
I'm sorry, that was his time to retire, and maybe he's trying to just coach these guys up, which maybe he likes it, maybe he's just bored. I don't know.
He seems bored.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have not wanted to be around that because of just how much history he has of being great. And now he's just gonna be a bottom feeder. That sounds awful.
But I don't think this affects his legacy at all. So why not stay around
No.
and make that big?
Well, no, obviously not. But still,
I don't know. Get back to the playoffs, Pop, please.
I mean, he coaches USA basketball now, so it's not like he's missing out on anything. But
no,
I don't know.
but you're not really as close as to those guys as you are your own team. So I think he probably likes the personal factor of it.
Sure.
All right. Moving on to the other blockbuster trade announced on Friday pertaining to our own Timberwolves. Tim Conley gets in here and makes a big splash. Timberwolves trade for All-Star Defensive Player of the Year type center Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz. So the Timberwolves only received Rudy, but we give the Jazz Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Leandro Balmero, Walker Kessler, our 2022 first-round pick, one of them, Jared Vanderbilt, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in the upcoming drafts, alternating every year, all the odd years, so 23, 25, 27, 29, with a pick swap at 26.
And it's not. I think it's a great deal.
Not
I know
overpaid. Not overpaid.
No.
For?
See, the thing is, people are dumb and they don't realize that the NBA you have to match salaries, so that's why they have to dump all these guys in the trade. I guarantee you they would have done the trade for Beasley, Vanderbilt, and Beverly if it wasn't for salary, and maybe Walker Kessler. But not even probably. I guarantee that's what it is. They're not going to expect you to give, and all those picks. Who gives a shit about first round picks anyways? It's the NBA. Picks don't matter unless you're top 10. Most of them don't turn out anyways. They're just going to sit in the G League or sit on our bench. So it's not like it matters. And our bench is already deep enough to where it's not a big deal.
It's got a little bit thinner, but yeah.
Yeah, not much though. Beasley's inconsistent as fuck. Vanderbilt is replaceable. And Balmero hasn't even touched the floor. Walker Kessler
hasn't touched the floor that much.
Walker Kessler has not even seen an NBA court, so you don't know what you get out of him. So who cares? So 2 guys in that trade, you don't even care because you've never even seen what they have. So that doesn't really matter. And then the only person in the trade that really makes a big difference, I think, to the Timberwolves is Pat Bev, just because of the culture to the team.
Yep.
Defensively, yes, he brings it, but I think more culture-wise, I don't even give a shit about his defense that much. It's good, but he's just the culture that he brought to the team was good. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll bring him back eventually, but
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe if we're in the playoff push, I wouldn't be surprised if we try and get him back because he's that guy.
Yeah, so, but I don't know. You can't really expect to not pay that much when this guy's getting paid $40 million a year at center. So, I don't know. Great trade. I think this gives more opportunities for the Timberwolves to be better defensively, obviously.
Yep.
But then I think it gives Cat the opportunity to do his thing more this year instead of being that center. Because having to rely on him on center on defense is just not it at all. And like the fact that we didn't even have to give up D'Lo was crazy, and the fact that he'll be like the third option on this team is obviously was last year, but it wasn't to an extent because we didn't know if Anthony Edwards was going to take that next step. But D'Lo's going to be the third option, so it doesn't put as much pressure on him to score 25 points a night, 20 points a night. He can go score 15 a night, and it's just fine.
As long as he dishes, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's not like he doesn't have as much high expectations, and maybe he'll still get traded. I have no idea, but I don't know. I thought the trade was good.
I just don't think there's another point guard out there right now that we'd really want over D'Lo.
I'd take Kyrie.
Yeah, I don't know if I won't. I don't know. That would definitely be interesting, but I don't know if it worked.
Because the thing is that D'Lo is on a 1-year deal, so he's a 1-year rental. Technically, still, he's kind of a 1-year rental, and so would Kyrie. So if you were to somehow trade for Kyrie, he'd still be a 1-year rental because D'Lo's on a 1-year deal too right now. He's final year contract.
I know you're gonna think I'm stupid, but I wish one of the players that was not included was Vanderbilt. He's kind of the same thing as Beverly. He brings that culture.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Every single play.
That's not culture. That's just him. That's not
That's what
him.
you want to
That's
see
not
out of your
culture.
players.
Yeah, but also I didn't say this. He takes away minutes from McDaniels. Is that his actual name?
Dave McDaniels.
I was just thinking Daniel. Yeah, no, he takes away a lot of minutes from McDaniels.
That's also because McDaniels was getting into foul trouble pretty quick.
But still, that's still minutes that he could play. Like there's
McDaniels should have been starting over Vanderbilt. I will say that, but I also think Vanderbilt is a very good or a decent replacement for McDaniels when he gets into foul trouble.
Still, Vanderbilt is literally one of the most replaceable players I've ever seen.
I agree, but I liked watching him. He was a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, but he's still replaceable. That's the thing.
Oh,
if he's replaceable, then who cares if he's fun to watch? Like, yeah, but that doesn't help us if he's fun to watch. That you're looking at it and the fact that you're how you see it and like how like you liked it,
he
but
just
like
brings that positive vibe to the team. That's what you want.
Okay, that's positive vibe. That doesn't matter. That's positive vibe for the fans.
That's the same thing as Patrick Beverly.
No, it's not. It's not. Patrick Beverly brings a culture to the team. Vando doesn't bring that much to the team.
He brings that positive vibe culture to the team.
That's literally
he brings that hustle
fans.
Culture to the team.
You're thinking about the fans. He doesn't affect the team that much.
He grabs
really
those boards. He grabs
so
those
does
boards.
Everyone else.
That Towns doesn't.
Dude, we have Rudy Gobert now. Who cares?
Oh yeah, I'd rather have Rudy.
I'm just saying, Vando is just so replaceable, and like he doesn't bring that much to the team. He just hustles a little bit more than other people.
And it pays off sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's so replaceable. That's why I didn't even give a shit that he got traded. And he was a fan favorite, but who gives a shit? Fan favorites got to go eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Just like Kevin Love did. But all right, yeah. Well, it's just seeing this like it seems like we're past the dark days of when Noah Vonleh was coming out the bench. Jake Layman was playing meaningful minutes, stuff like that.
Dude, those are dark days.
Those were dark days. Taj Gibson was our starting four. Like,
yeah, that's awful. That's horrible.
The great Jeff Teague.
Oh, dude.
Those
it's like
days are done. Tim Conley is trying to bring in that winning culture. Right now, he's shoving his chips to the middle of the table, pointing finger guns at everybody. He's got the confidence, and I like it. If this does pan out, then those first round picks aren't going to mean shit because they're going to be awful picks. They're going to be.
See, the thing is even
20s.
I'm sorry, but even if we're like, sorry to cut you off, but even if we're like a 6 or a 5 seed, those picks are still going to mean shit.
Oh yeah, if you're not in the lottery, it does not matter that much.
No.
But yeah, like this is refreshing to see. Like we're getting, like this is the Timberwolves version of Bill Guerin. And I think Bill Guerin's a good GM. I think.
Okay, that's a little bit of a stretch. He's been with the team for 3 months.
Yeah.
You cannot compare him to Bill
You
Guerin.
can
I'm sorry.
compare
I will
their
not allow
styles.
you
They're
to.
both aggressive. They're both win now mentalities. I wish the Twins would do that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
get
I
rid of-
still cut you off. I'm still cutting you off. You cannot. I'm not allowing you to compare him to Bill Guerin. That is not
Why?
allowed. Bill Guerin is been here for a couple of years, and I will wait to see if this
Are
pays
they
off
both
for Tim Connolly.
respected in the league?
I have no idea who the fuck this dude was until then.
Tim Connolly has been respected in the league for over 10 years.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's why I'm
So,
comparing
I
him
still
to Bill Guerin.
Don't care.
They're
He's
both
not
aggressive.
comparable to
I
Bill
like it.
Guerin.
I like what they're doing with their respective teams. Tim
He's not
Connolly,
comparable.
you got my trust at the moment until you start to suck. That's when it starts to turn. But I think Towns could be possible MVP candidate this year if Rudy can really lock down the defense on the inside, where Towns can maybe get out on breaks more, throw down those transition dunks, stuff like that, hit those transition threes, just opening up his offensive game even more, because he is definitely not the defensive center. Like, excuse me, yeah, he'll get those blocked sometimes, but with the Gobert in the paint, he can kind of switch on to like 3 to 4, just get out and move. It'll be refreshing to see that. And I think, like I said, if this team keeps taking steps forward, like, this team is going to be nasty. If Ant gets into like it seems like it's going to be an MVP candidate in like 5 years, if not less.
I would say less.
Right. So he should be an all-star next year. Shame he wasn't this year. Right now the starting lineup for the Timberwolves is D'Lo, Edwards, Jay McDaniels, who is really took a step forward this past year. Then you got Towns and Gobert running the 4-5, and like Towns isn't even really a 4. He's just, I don't know what I'd really call him.
He's
like,
just, I don't know,
a weird stretch 4. That's what we'll say.
Yeah.
For now. And then you got still a decently deep bench. Like, got
God.
my boy Nasreed. Who else? Jordan McLaughlin. I don't know.
Jordan McLaughlin. Jalen Noel.
Jalen Noel should get a little bit of a bag this year.
I don't know.
Not
I'm
much.
trying to think of who else that is still there on the bench.
Jake Layman's not going to be there for much longer, if at all.
Well, we also signed Bryn Forbes and Kyle
Bryn?
Anderson too.
Yeah, I forgot about Slow-Mo.
Slow-Mo.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just forget about
Dude,
him.
he sucks. Hopefully he can be good defensively, because
People around the
he's
league are
horrible.
like, "Oh my god, that's a great pickup for the Timberwolves." And I'm like,
Hopefully, I mean,
I'm just like, I
our
hate
bench
that, man.
scoring is going to be horrible this year, but hopefully our starters can do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you got a combination of the 5 putting up at least 60 or so, we should be good.
Yeah, but the bench scoring is going to be horrible this year. You don't have 15 points from Beasley this year like you did last year.
I think
So it's going to be
Laughlin will
horrible.
probably see the floor a lot more.
Well,
I think
he
it's gonna be
should. He's pretty good. I feel like he's like a Walmart Tyus Jones.
He is a Walmart test. I would say he's also kind of like a Jose Alvarado. Not as good.
But he's not as pesty though.
No. He's like the nice version of Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
Like, he'll politely steal the ball from you.
But I still think like Jalen Noel, I think, has the ability to like be that 12 to 15 points a game. Yeah, for like to replace Beasley. And I think Jalen Noel is almost more consistent than him.
Yeah, Jalen Noel also can score at all 3 levels, where Beasley is purely behind the arc most of the time.
He turned into that this year. Holy shit!
I know.
This year he just shoot threes.
And somehow he still beat the record for most Timberwolves 3-pointers in a season.
Not surprised.
I guess, yeah, it shouldn't be.
For how much he took. Yeah, like he was taking a lot. Like when he was getting big minutes, I'm pretty sure he was taking 10 threes a game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And there was nights where he shot it good, and there was nights where he was horrible. It was so inconsistent.
Yeah. But I think next year this team is slot them into the top 5 of.
I feel like you have to. I feel like they have to. Like if they get 6 or lower, I feel like it's almost disappointing.
If it's not disappointing if you make it to the next round. That's all I really care about at this point.
Well, yeah.
See what we got with Gobert. Like, if this first year is a disaster and the year after that is also, something's going to change. There's no way that you're paying all that money for a guy that's not going to show up. So
yeah, but the thing is I hope people don't expect them to score a lot because that's not his game.
He's a lob threat. I think we need to try and pick up a bigger Jordan McLaughlin, the ball dominant pass first type of guy. Like, it would have been nice to see like Tyus Jones come back because he's talks. I know. And then he signed with Memphis for 2 more years. Got that bag a little bit, but yeah, like if we get another, like that's kind of why I was hoping we'd get DeJounte. Like if we could have kept D'Lo and had DeJounte too. Like I think
I don't think we'd be as scary. I'm gonna be honest.
You don't think so?
No, because the thing is I don't think DeJounte and D'Lo would. I don't think they would. I don't think they would mesh very well.
I could see that. I just think we need another pass first type of guard out there.
Well, I think Jordan McLaughlin is pass first.
Definitely. But
he
I think
is
we
not
need
looking
a
to score.
taller, better version of him.
Well, yeah, that would be nice, but it's also not 2K where you need a 6'6" point guard.
Well, no, but
so
yeah, but just see those passing lanes maybe a little bit more clearly.
Yeah,
he does a good job of it, but see those passing lanes a little bit more clearly. Do we want to run through free agent pickups real quick? Like the notable ones?
Also, like other buzz. Like, okay, can we talk about quickly just like these contract extensions that people are signing? Holy fuck, dude! They're just
got the max,
dude.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah, dude, he got a no trade clause too.
Oh my God.
I don't think he wants to go anywhere besides stay in Washington.
I don't know,
but
why.
Like. Because he's loyal, I don't know.
Leave,
holy shit, dude! These guys are signing massive deals. It's
Jalen Brunson, Anthony Simons.
I'm talking about like the max deals. Like, holy fuck!
Yeah,
they're insane. Like,
Marvin Bagley.
Do they not
have 37 mil deal
for how many years?
3 years.
Oh. That's not that bad of an NBA contract, though. But
for Marvin Bagley, he hasn't been great.
Yeah, but they see something. But what I'm saying is that these contracts are like these teams must not give a shit about going into the luxury tax at all.
No, I don't think so.
Because I was looking at the salary cap for the NBA this year was like 123 million, and the Warriors had like the highest salary cap in NBA history this season at like 198 or 188 mil. So they're just like absolutely exceeding the salary cap going to the luxury tax, which is insane. So obviously they don't care. Dude, I still can't believe that Jokic has the highest contract of all time.
Yeah.
He's getting paid over 50 mil a year. He's the only one, I'm pretty sure, that he is getting paid over, barely over, like easily over 50.
Okay, if you're...
Wait, do you have a list of like all the like top all the max contracts?
I could, but if you're Sam Presti, are you signing Lou Dort to an $87 million deal for 5 years?
Can they do that?
They did that.
That's a steal.
8 for Lou Dort?
Yeah, that's a steal.
I don't think he's worth that much.
He was so good this year.
I know.
That's
he was injured,
that's cheap, honestly. For like a second guy, like there's no one else really making that much money. I guess SGA is making a decent amount, but I think that's a steal. I think he probably could have got paid more somewhere else.
Zach LaVine, I don't think it was max, but it got paid $215.
No, it was max. It was max.
$215 for 5 years to stay in Chicago.
It was a max deal.
Let's see, Jalen Brunson coming out. This is his second good year in a row. 104, 4 years with the Knicks.
I can't believe how many people are like freaking out over that. It's like he's not even getting paid like $30 million a year. Like, chillax.
Anthony Simons. I didn't know about this kid for a little bit till like this past year. He's very good. Got signed for $100 million for 4 years to stay in Portland.
Yeah, I think they're hoping he can be like the sidekick to Dame.
Doesn't got much. I don't know. Mo Bamba stayed in Orlando. Let's see. Amir Coffee. John Wall went to the Clippers. Got bought out.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see if he's actually good. Because if he's good, the Clippers can be a scary team.
DeAndre Jordan went to to Denver, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's floating around the league. He's getting old.
He's done. Let's see. Where's the max deals? Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Max deals. We got Cat. Obviously, he just signed for
holy
4
shit,
years.
dude. Dude, his contract is insane too.
I mean, he's probably worth it. But
I don't think so, but that's just me. Also, well, the reason why I say that is because he's also on an extension right now. He's on an extension, and that he's going to get paid more after that.
Right.
But I think it's just crazy.
This was truly his first like outstanding season, getting third team All NBA.
Yeah.
But I think if he keeps it up, it will be worth the money, no doubt.
Well, yeah.
He's a top five center the rest of his
the thing is
time.
If the salary cap goes up, it's not horrible. I don't know what the salary cap's going to do this year, so that's the only thing.
Let's see. Devin Booker got paid.
Dude, damn.
How much was that?
It was a lot.
It was upper 200 mil or 200 mil plus.
I think it was 5 for like 240.
Wow.
So, what do you think about Zion getting a max extension?
He shouldn't have.
But so the only reason why I can understand it is because they have a good core. Yeah. Because honestly, I think if you don't sign him to an extension, I think that you have to trade him.
Well, there was like that. He was disgruntled there and everything like that. I think that was the only way they kept him there was because they paid him that much money.
Yeah.
Like I know he loves New Orleans, but that doesn't mean you love the team that you play for.
I think he's like, obviously he's got to play. I think he's like guaranteed to play next year. Then he's gotta, if he's getting paid that much.
Otherwise, he's living one of the dream life of watching courtside basketball.
Because literally he
280 or what was it, like 240?
I don't remember.
$240 million free courtside seats. You're getting
obviously
paid
the
courtside.
thing is that what we've seen from him is fucking good. Is the only thing.
But it's just disheartening.
It's crazy
that he's only played 87 games in 3 NBA seasons.
It's crazy that they just like dished it out to him though. And the thing is, the NBA, it's all guaranteed. So that's all he's getting all that money.
Yep, unless he somehow messes up, like legally, not on the basketball court, legally. That's all his. Let's see who else got paid. I'm not sure if these are updated. I don't think they are.
I'm really surprised like someone like Jason Tatum hasn't signed a max unless he signed an extension like last year. I'm surprised he hasn't signed an extension. Or like Jaylen Brown. I don't know if I think he did too. Never mind.
Did he? I don't know.
I don't remember. Also, like, obviously, I think it's important to talk about or like just even mention it because it's crazy. Like the Kevin Durant and Kyrie stuff.
I don't know where Kevin Durant's going to go. I don't know where he wants to go.
Well, he wants to go to Phoenix or Miami, but apparently he wants to go to a team that has 2 All-Stars on it.
That's quite a big team.
That's literally, and the thing is he wants to go to a team with 2 All-Stars, but then the Nets want an All-Star player and at least 2 or 3 first-round picks in return.
If he gets traded, this might be the most, like, not lopsided, like in a bad way, but like in terms of getting sent and receiving, it would be insane. Like what the number of picks and number of
I think though, if he gets traded for like I think if he gets traded for a very, very good piece, like if he goes somewhere like, let me think. I think there's a chance that they only get 2 players in return for him, based off like who he gets.
Good though.
I think it's gonna be I think if they trade for someone, it's gonna be someone that's very good and then a very, very solid role player.
I could see that.
Has to be. Just the thing is that who has the ability to trade for him? Like, I don't even know.
If the Timberwolves are gonna try and go after him, what's your draft? What's your package? Let's say the Gobert trade.
You have to give up Cat or Ant.
You think so?
You have to. They won't. They don't. They've already said they won't take a deal without him.
I did see that report.
There's no way I would take D'Lo as the main piece for KD.
No. But
you'd have to give up Ant, and there's no point to give up Ant.
I feel like I don't know how much Durant's getting paid. I don't know what the match is.
He signed a 4-year, $198 million extension last year, or like a deal. I think he's already on that deal, so I think he has 3 years left.
So that's like 40 mil a year, something.
Almost 50.
Almost 50. I don't even know what our salaries are. I know it would have to be D'Lo, and I feel like you gotta give up 2 young guys that hopefully are not. But
what the thing is that the one team that he said that actually makes sense is like Miami, because you give up Lowry and Hero and picks. I guarantee they'd take that.
I think so. I mean, Hero would probably be a starter on that team now.
He would, yeah.
Definitely. Kyle Lowry would be a starter. I think he would also maybe get bought out. I would not be surprised if Kyle Lowry got bought out if he went to.
No, he's so shit now.
But I still think a team would sign him.
Yeah, for sure. Also, like, the Suns are one of the teams that he's talking about.
They would give up DeAndre in a heartbeat.
He's a free agent.
Oh, I thought he was a restricted or something.
Well, I don't know how they'd do that, but I don't think they'd be able to do that unless they sign and trade, but I doubt they do that. But the Nets said they want Devin Booker in return, so that ain't gonna happen.
Devin Booker.
No, so that's what I'm saying. That's like, what the hell would they have to give up to get, like, I don't know.
It have to be like Mikal Bridges. Like, he's not the centerpiece point, obviously, but maybe.
I don't know. This shit makes 0 sense to me.
It's like you're trading for one of the best players ever, but also it seems like the teams he wants to go to have some of the like highest end players. Like, you're not trading Jimmy if you're the Heat, obviously. He's there to stay. You're not trading Booker if you're Phoenix. He's there to stay. So, like, you're kind of in a tough spot. I think the Nets will probably take the best offer. That's my guess. I think if Miami and Phoenix are like, sorry, we can't offer what you're asking for, I think a team, like, I could totally see like the Pacers or somebody sweeping in.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't be able to give enough for him.
You don't think Halliburton and some other people would be enough?
Yeah, but then there's no point for the Pacers to do that, because then it'd just be KD.
Maybe that's what he wants.
No,
he doesn't.
KD, he's just a fucking bitch, because he joined Golden State to go win a title because he couldn't do it on his own. Little bitch move he did. And then he left because he's like, I won a couple titles. Let me try to go do this on my own. He gave it a couple seasons. He was hurt. He played 2 seasons. Couldn't do it.
It's not his fault that the team around him was dysfunctional, though.
But their team was good enough last year where he could have won. He could have done it. He had James Harden last year in the playoffs. And he had Kyrie too.
No, I didn't, because last year James Harden was on the Sixers in the playoffs.
No, that was this year.
Yeah, this was. Oh
no, I'm talking about the previous year when they were actually better than they were this year.
When his foot size kept him from going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes, but I'm just saying, it's like, I've also heard this theory that they're just trying to get all this media attention to just like stay away, and they're just gonna stay in Brooklyn and run it back one more time. Because like the thing is like, why would you even like buy into this? Like honestly, like I'm honestly at the point where like fuck these guys for requesting trades, and you just need to suck it up, you little piece of shit. Like I'm at that point where it's getting a little fucking annoying.
Handle though. I don't know, man.
But still, I'm at the point where it's fucking annoying. I'm just like, fuck you.
If
Stay
they're
on
trying
your
to
team.
get rid of media attention, it's not a good idea to say two of the best players in the game are requesting trades.
Well, Kyrie never requested a trade.
There's still
they're
lots
just saying
of buzz
that.
around a
Well, yeah,
trade,
that's because
though.
KD is on the trade, wants to get traded. So that's why
Kyrie was already on the trade block.
Well, yeah,
for
but
signing trades and stuff like that.
well, yeah, I'm saying the reason why Kyrie is because KD. If KD didn't request a trade, Kyrie would be in talks with
Kyrie
trades.
was already on the trade block before KD announced.
Yeah, but now once he opted in, he wasn't.
No, you're right.
Because he couldn't do sign and trades, so his market went down.
Right.
And then he went back up because KD requested it. Kyrie is basically going off what KD did. Plus, like, I honestly would just say fuck him and play one more year with Kyrie because they still have Ben Simmons just chilling there.
Ben Simmons is his own special little guy. I don't like Ben Simmons.
Their roster isn't horrible to the
No.
point where it's a lot of veteran minimums, which it doesn't work. The Lakers have tried to do that and it doesn't work.
Don't sign someone past their prime to a big deal. Like
What are you talking about?
That was probably one of the most no-brainer decisions in NBA history by a player for Westbrook to pick up his player option.
Oh yeah,
because his market has gone so down from last year, and he's like, "Hey, I'll get paid. Was it 47 or 37? It's one of those two.
47.
47 to play like 20 minutes a game, if that. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you just suck it up for one more year, get that bag, and then get out, maybe retire? I don't know.
If he gets traded, he literally would play on 5 different teams during his 5-year deal.
Now I want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Because he went from OKC that started his time.
That started his
deal.
Extension,
And
and then he went to the
Houston,
Rockets,
and then the Wizards,
Lakers.
And then come on,
Whoever.
one more team.
Dude, I want the Thunder to trade for KD so bad. That'd be so funny. That would be
You'd have
hilarious.
to give up like Chet though.
Who cares? That'd be so funny. Just the reaction, or like the Kyrie and Russell Westbrook trade would be awesome. Just because you got that drama in LA, and then you got the drama with KD and Russ being teammates again.
That'd be interesting. I would like to see Kyrie and Russ would be probably the most mismatched teammates of all time.
They were together.
When?
On the Thunder.
Westbrook and Irving? No.
No, I said that
Kyrie.
you trade them up.
Kyrie.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they're traded for each other. Is what I said. Not traded together or traded so they're on the same team. I said they're traded for each other.
No, I mean you trade Kyrie to the Lakers and you see how Westbrook and him react.
They would never. The Lakers would never trade for Kyrie without getting rid of Westbrook.
Probably not, but that'd be very interesting because Russ is one of the most no nonsense type of people I've ever seen. You got Mr. Flat Earther over there, Australia man.
Also, one team that I think that if KD does get traded, he could get traded to is the Warriors.
Back to Golden State.
It makes a ton of sense.
Get rid of Wiggins.
Poole, first round picks, maybe another player. Dude,
Possibly.
It actually could happen, and it's scary because he could just go back there and win like 3 more titles. Huh?
Play center.
It doesn't even matter. I'm just saying that. Just think about that. That's a possibility because they wouldn't have to give up Clay. They'd have to give up Wiggins, Poole, one more player maybe, and multiple first round picks.
Yeah.
That is fucking ridiculous if that happens.
Maybe you just spoke into existence. We will see.
I've already heard it on another podcast, but
maybe the
NBA, if he does that, fuck him, and the NBA will.
Well, if he gets traded, then it's not his fault. Like, I know he requested the trade, but it sounds like if he went to the Warriors, he would not choose that.
Well, I mean, obviously that's not his preferred destination, but if he got traded back to the Warriors, he's not gonna say no. Just saying. Right. I'm just saying. The NBA would be so pissed off, and the whole NBA would be turned upside down.
Yeah.
It'd just be awful. But like the thing is, it's weird because it seems like he wants to go to like teams that are like established
on
with
the
good
cup
people
of
instead of like teams that are like a team like Memphis would make a ton of sense because you got a rising star and they were a top 5 team in the league this year. It would make a ton of sense. Could bring them over the edge.
But KD's also a big market guy. Like, except for OKC, he's been a big market team all his career.
I mean, fair. Well, like, the thing is like, you could be like, oh, he could go to the Celtics or something. But why would the Celtics trade for him? And then because they were already so close to winning a title. So that's where it wouldn't make a ton of sense for Golden State to sign him.
Maybe it's a swing play by the Knicks that they just signed Brunson. You trade for KD with Brunson, give away a couple other people, maybe Mitchell Robinson or what's his face, Julius Randle, a couple picks. KD.
That's like the whole team. You just said their whole team.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Trade your whole team for KD?
No.
What about
he obviously hasn't showed that he can carry a team. See, that's what makes no sense to me is that these teams, he wants to get traded, but yet these teams any team that would trade for him is going to have to give up a shit ton of stuff for him, and then their team depth is going to be horrible.
I think he's going to have to wait till free agency and see how it plays out, and that's not for a couple more years.
That's 3 years. He has no chance. Like, if he wants to win a championship, like, if he doesn't think he can win one in Brooklyn, he has to get traded because he's not going to win one in Brooklyn if he doesn't think he's going to. I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Try and get a buyout. So, yeah.
He can't. He's 3 years down the line. He can't. I'm pretty sure you can't get bought out 3 years down the line.
Really? I thought you could get bought out.
There's no way a team is going to buy him out if they can. 3 years, they're gonna buy him out for 3 years and pay him 40 or 50 mil almost a year. That's
just
that
dumb. Desperate. If
they're not that desperate, I guarantee it.
Yeah, I don't know a team that is that desperate, but if there was, I wouldn't doubt that.
There's no team that I've never even heard of a team buying out someone for 2 years. I've only heard it once.
Right.
I don't know. I hope he gets stuck in Brooklyn just so I could see him pout because I fucking hate him still.
You're just
I just hate that he requested a trade. Like, dude, just stick it out. You can't. Like, he is like worse than LeBron. LeBron, like, he obviously couldn't stick it out in Cleveland and he left and then he went back to Cleveland. KD's been in Brooklyn for 2 years and obviously the situation has been great, but you were surrounded by Kyrie and James Harden and you couldn't do anything. I'm sorry, but that's just like, and like the thing is you won 2 finals MVPs, but yet you were still seen as hanging on Steph Curry's coattails. So he needs to just learn how to suck it up and try to win a championship on his own, because if you'd be lying to yourself if you think that if they have, like, Ben Simmons plays good, that him and Kyrie cannot beat anyone in that East, because they can.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, why not give it a try? Why not run it back one more time? Because I don't think the thing is that I don't think the Nets want to trade him when he's still got 3 years left on his deal.
Oh, why would you?
Exactly. They just signed him that extension. I think they want to see it play out a little bit more.
But ultimately, if he is unhappy, it's a lot better to get something for him than have him sit out like a season.
Well,
like
he
John
is
Wall
not going to
did.
sit out. No, the Rockets forced him to sit out. John Wall wanted to play.
I think it was mutual. At least towards the middle.
Yeah,
to
but
the
John
end of the
Wall
year.
isn't Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant
No.
isn't going to fucking sit. So,
Probably not.
I don't know. He's probably going to get... Like, the thing is, the Nets aren't just going to take an offer just because they got one. Is the problem.
yeah.
Is that...
We saw that
I
with
don't
the Timberwolves offer.
What, for who?
Well, like that. The Nets are asking for a lot. They're not just going to accept the offer because they got one, like you said.
Yeah. I just think it's funny how people were like, oh, what is it going to take for people to trade for Kevin Durant? They're like, oh, it's shit ton. And then you look at they didn't the Jazz didn't even get an all-star in return. Like that's where
You're right.
is way different. They didn't get an all-star at all.
Pat Bev's never been to the All-Star game? I don't think so.
No one's been in the All-Star game out of those 5. Obviously, because 2 of them haven't even touched the court, so it's not even possible. I don't know.
Oh well. I think that's all though for now.
Yep.
Good episode.
Oh, football season is slowly around the corner, and I am fucking ready.
Yeah, it's only
We're in the doldrums of the sports season
not
now.
for too much longer for those people that don't like baseball as much.
Yeah, but
Only got-
it's
I know you don't care for college football, but we got that coming up in 4 weeks.
college football will actually be good once this whole realignment thing finally shapes out.
Like the 2 super conferences, or just 2024?
Well,
when stuff
I don't know.
is-
I hope it's not too okay. I'll talk about this a little bit actually. I'm thinking it's either going to be 2 super conferences or it's going to be 4. Because
It's not gonna be
the
4.
Pac-
It's only gonna be 3 or 2.
is that what they said?
I think ACC is gonna fold. Pac-12 and ACC are gonna fold. I
Well,
won't be surprised
the
if the
Pac-12
Big
is
12
already-
sticks around.
The Pac-12 is already folded because it's getting half of it's getting absorbed by the Big 12,
Well, that's the proposed offer. Yes.
and that's going to happen. I guarantee it.
The only team I want out of that for the Big Ten is Oregon. That's about it.
That'd be sick. I wouldn't be surprised if they do go to the Big Ten.
And it's only a matter of time before Notre Dame joins the Big Ten.
They have to. There's no way they keep going without a conference.
I know. It's stupid. I hope that if they stick it out as independent, I hope that the NCAA is nope, you gotta be part of a conference, be part of
That's what a lot of people think they're gonna do. They're gonna say you want to be bowl eligible or
playoff eligible,
championship. Yeah, you gotta
be part
you
of
gotta join a conference. Also, hopefully with the realignment, which I think will happen, is definitely gonna be an expanded playoff.
Yes, I think. Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen no matter what. It's just that they didn't vote for it. This time it's just set to go into effect in 2026, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is too long, but...
Yeah, I hate when they... why does it have to take that long? Why can't it just be next year? What makes a difference?
Well, it was voted to be next year, but all of the commissioners were like, no, we want it in 2026.
That's stupid.
I know it is.
But the only thing that really sucks with this alignment is I feel like it's gonna wreck a lot of the rivalries and the tradition in these conferences. There's a chance. I'm not saying it will. I think the rich rivalries will still be there, but these little small rivalries will slowly diminish.
Yes, I agree. Because let's take Minnesota for example. The games that are for sure gonna stay are Wisconsin and Iowa. Those
I don't even think Iowa's a guarantee.
No, Iowa's
I'm gonna be
guaranteed.
honest.
They've been playing Floyd Rosedale since the 30s. They're not getting.
I don't know, Brandon. I'm just saying because I know this thing is that I know that that's like a big rivalry, but the thing is that nationwide, I think the Axe is way more well known.
Oh yeah,
because it is the oldest rivalry in college football. Is
but
the Axe and
Floyd is like if the Axe is S tier, Floyd of Rosedale it's A tier.
Well, yeah, but I'm
And
just saying. I just
getting,
think there's a chance that it doesn't. I'm not saying it's going to.
Small chance.
I just
if you're
think
getting
there's
rid
a chance
of Gophers rivalries games, you're getting rid of the Little Brown Jug against Michigan, the Governor's Bell against
Penn State,
and like I don't think you're gonna need to play like Nebraska or Purdue that much. So that opens up your one slot if they go to the 3-5-5 or whatever it is that their ACC is doing this year. I think that
it all depends on what their scheduling is. I'm just saying that I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just think that there's a chance that they'll obviously keep the rivalry, but I think there's a chance they won't play every year. I think there's a chance of that.
I think that'd be a big shame if that ever came.
That's gonna happen though. If there's gonna be two super conferences, you should expect that to happen. There's gonna be massive changes for scheduling. Massive, like to where the point where you probably might not see the Gophers play the Iowa every year. Massive. That's what's gonna happen. I'm like, it's sad to say it, but it's gonna happen.
I don't know, but I'm also kind of thinking like in baseball terms, like the Twins and the Brewers play every year, and the MLB
but that's they haven't
super conferences, like quotes, air quotes. It's two different leagues.
No,
but they play every year.
Different. They play way more games. It's way different. Plus, the MLB is changing their scheduling next year. So,
are they? I did not hear this.
Everyone's gonna play every team.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I'm pretty sure I heard. I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty sure I heard that like
I'm not
AL teams are gonna play a lot more NL teams, is what I've heard.
And vice
than
versa.
normal. So like they might be playing all of the NL teams, which I mean, if you think about it, you play a 3-game series minimum against the NL, maybe even 2-game series.
Or
that's
4.
like 45 games or 4, yeah, but I'm saying minimum probably 3, like around that average. You get 45 games. You still have 162 to play against the AL. So that's what I heard. I heard them talking about the broadcast. Not totally sure if it's like all the NL teams, but I'm pretty sure I heard that they said something maybe about them each team playing each other once a year. So it's gonna be a lot different now. And
I don't know. It sucks that those super conferences are fueled by money, but I mean these days, what isn't?
See, so. I think this is best for college football though, because it will definitely bring in like more like people.
Oh yeah, it'll bring in.
It will be way better to watch too, because it won't be a bunch of different like conferences or whatever, blah blah. It will literally like eventually what will happen probably it will be like the NFC and the NFC and the NFL. There'll be 2 divisions or 2
it'll probably be
north
south by
it'll be like 2 conferences or whatever, and they'll have 2 sides of the playoff bracket.
Yep.
Wouldn't even be surprised.
As long as, because rivalries in college football mean a whole lot more than they do in the NFL.
100%.
If you get rid of those, like those age-old ones, like if it ever happened where Minnesota does not play Wisconsin for the Axe,
that would be horrible.
That's when everybody needs to take a step back and look what.
There would be a problem if that happened.
Right.
I would say that you would probably never see the end of the last game of the season rivalries ever change.
That's the hope.
That would be very hard to believe that for that to happen.
I think you got to keep in like the last 3 games of the season, if it is going to the 3-5-5 or whatever. The last 3 games of the season are the teams you play every year, same slot every time, because I think for Iowa, I'm pretty sure, or at least the last 2 it goes Minnesota, Nebraska every single year. So I think that's going to happen where it stays those 2 till the end of time.
See, like obviously there's going to be changes, but it's a lot of hypotheticals because No, they haven't said what they're gonna do, and I don't know.
The only thing, just more clarity on this would be much appreciated.
Oh yeah, 100%. Also, what was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh, there's gonna be a ton of like Power 5 schools that are gonna be left out of this too.
Mm-hmm.
A ton of Power 5 schools that are not gonna be involved in this at all.
Like, what's gonna happen to like lowly Washington State? Or
those schools. Like, there's a chance that they might just fall out. But I think eventually what's gonna happen is there's gonna be like the minor leagues of college football. That's going to be the other top Division 1 schools, and then you got the higher up Division 1 schools, kind of like it is now with Power 5, obviously.
Yeah, I think some of these teams are only going to survive off of tradition too, or not just football, because like I'm thinking like Syracuse, like if the ACC folds, I think they make it to the top tier because people want that tradition for basketball, and like, yeah, they're not good at football and they haven't even been great at basketball the past couple of years, but I think that it's still there that you want that team.
Yeah. Do you think that ACC or the Big 12 will fold first?
The Pac-12 or the Big 12?
No, the Big 12 or the ACC. Who do you think is going to fold first?
The ACC, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. Because ACC, you got Duke and you got Clemson. Who else am I missing? Maybe NC State.
Yeah, and well, I mean, you got to think about it in all sports too. Florida State is a big school still. Like, that's a big school. That's
an easy transition for them right into the SEC.
Oh yeah, same with Clemson. They're gonna
that's why I think the Big 12 will stay because you got a lot more competitive teams in there. Like, you got your Baylors, you got your Oklahoma States, even Iowa State's up there sometimes, occasionally.
See, the only reason why I feel like could be easy for the Big 12 to fold is Texas and Oklahoma leaving. ACC hasn't seen anyone leave yet, so it's going to be hard to see the pedigree of the Big 12 after this year because you have 3 new teams, I'm pretty sure, joining, or at least 2. I know Houston and Cincinnati are joining the Big 12 this year.
Teams like Baylor, I think Utah could go to the Big 12 pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, they are. Or
right.
Wait, I don't know. No, I think there was something else. I don't know if they are.
Utah, like if Utah joins, you got Baylor, you got the teams I already mentioned. I think those 5 or 6 schools can keep that conference afloat because out of those teams, I think at least one would be in contention for the playoffs. And if you get, if each conference put at least one team that's truly competitor, that's a win.
Yeah. I just wish this would happen faster because there's so much talk about it and it's going to happen so slow. Just so slow.
Yeah, it's just going to be weird to start off with. I think it would be a lot less weird if there's more teams joining the Big Ten with UCLA and USC, but since it's just those 2, it's just kind of odd. If it was more West Coast teams, then it'd be yeah, whatever, but it's just those 2 for now.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, the regions or the areas don't make any sense. It's it's not going to make sense ever once it gets to the point of 2 conferences. It's just
going to be North and South, like I said, North and South.
I just wonder how long this is going to take.
I don't know. Predicted earlier, 5 minutes ago, 2035. But I think it could be even by 2030 that all teams are set in their place.
I would hope it'd be faster than that. I feel like you just got to get a couple, obviously UCLA and USC leaving to the Big Ten is huge. Oklahoma and Texas leaving for the SEC is huge. I feel like if you get more of these bigger schools to crumble and move to a different conference, it would make it go a lot faster. I wish the fact that they say we're switching to this conference, it should happen the next year. What makes a difference? Because why do they take? Why does it take 3 years?
Stuff is already in place
for 3 years down the line.
No, because USC and UCLA are joining the year after 2024.
But yeah, but I'm saying, well, yeah, but that I guess makes sense. Well, no, because 2022. This is 2022 season. Yeah, why can't they join in 2023? Huh?
You play you still got basketball and stuff going into 2023.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So when you hit that mid-June, late June, that's when the full transition starts, and that's when the sports season's reset. Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. But then why the hell Oklahoma and Texas were the first to do it, and they're supposed to go in 2025, which I know I heard that they're supposed to switch before that because they're gonna do something where they switch before that.
Yeah, I think isn't it supposed to be in 2023, the start of that season?
I think so.
Oh well, it's gonna be crazy. And
see, the thing is, I don't think it's gonna matter as much for other sports as much as college football. I guess basketball too. Those are the only two sports that are really gonna make a difference. Because those are the only money-making sports in college sports, is those two.
I know, I heard that was false, but yeah, those are the two biggest. For sure.
What other ones would, though? Those are the only ones.
Well,
that
I'm
really
pretty sure most sports make a profit. It's just not nearly as big as those two. And the other sports help the Title IX stuff stay afloat and whatnot.
Yeah,
they kind of need them.
I'm pretty positive half of college sports don't make profit.
Yeah, it's not a good number, but it's.
And I know it's sad to say, but I'm pretty sure women's sports don't bring in money either.
Not unless you're a power school in women's basketball.
I still don't even think they bring in money.
I think UConn probably brings in money.
Probably because they get a shit ton of alumni donations.
Probably, but oh well.
It's all money. It's all money. Because the thing is if a team like Notre Dame, obviously they've been independent for so long, and they've turned down money. You got to think that eventually the money is just going to attract them in, or the fact that they're going to get punished for being an independent school. See, there's other independents like Army and Navy and stuff like that, but they're not a big school. Notre Dame is a huge school, and they for some reason just think that it's cool just to be independent. Sports are crazy, yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely a sit back, strap on your seatbelt, grab yourself some popcorn type of episode.
Yeah, holy shit. I need a fucking energy drink is what I need. Oh my god.
Go to sleep. Got 5:20 start tomorrow morning.
I got fucking no start tomorrow morning. I ain't gotta work tomorrow.
Oh, you loser.
I worked the last 3 days, so I don't want to hear it. I only worked for 4 hours though each day max.
Yeah, exactly. Out of here.
I mean, I laid in bed really hard. So, all right.
What do you mean by very hard?
I put a lot of work into sleep to laying in my bed.
not
work
not
hard.
The other way.
No. God. Get your head out of the gutter. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us here at Certified Beef. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
The sound of your